Welcome back. Now we're going to do the inside of 1815. First we're going to talk about this battery disconnect switch here. As you can see, the position's it's in the on position, and you want to make sure you leave it in that position. If you turn it to off, you've killed all the 12-volt power inside the coach, and lights won't work and different things won't work. So make sure it stays in the on position. This is the switch for your patio awning. It's a power awning, and it moves in and out here and so forth. And I had it out a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and bring it back in. And then over here you've got switches for the step, you've got switches for the lights overhead, you've got an outside porch light, and the ceiling lights. Those are all those switches controlled right there. Also, on your door, you have a screen door here, and that'll help keep any bugs out and so forth. So, and then you just slide this over to be able to open this door there. And you got a fire extinguisher down here, and in case you needed to access your house batteries, they are under the step right here. There's a little lever here that pops open. This raises up, and there are batteries under that step there in case you needed to access those for whatever reason. All right. So, on your fridge over here, the refrigerator stays on automatic. As you can see, it's on. You just basically push in the button on automatic, and it automatically knows what to work on. Right now, we're not plugged into anything, so it's running off propane and the battery. The minute you start the generator or plug in, it's going to work on electricity. One thing about 30 amps and 50 amps is, like I said, this is a 50 amp RV. That means it's got two air conditioners, and when you're plugged into 50 amp service, you can run both air conditioners simultaneously. If you only have 30 amps of power, that means you can only run one air conditioner, either the front or the back, but not both, one or the other. When you have the generator on, however, you can run both air conditioners simultaneously, and you should be okay. Okay, that's basically what that 50 amp and 30 amp means. Okay, so like I said, we talked about the fridge, and you got some storage here. You've got this pull-out pantry here. Slide this over, and then you have a pull-out pantry. You can store canned goods there, and you've got storage over here. Over here on the wall, you've got your thermostat, and basically, if you want it on fan, you put it on fan. If you want it on air conditioning, of course, you push it to cool. And then if you want the furnace, you push it to the furnace, and then you adjust the temperature to make it warmer or whatever. And then to shut it off, you push it again, and then it goes into the off position, and it shuts off the system. Try to remember to turn this air conditioning off if you have the air conditioning going before you start or stop the generator, or before you plug in. Try to remember to always shut that off. Over here you've got bunk beds, and at each bed it has a TV DVD combo. And of course you need to have electricity to make these things work, i.e. the generator or be plugged into it. And you have them at both bunks there. On this wall down there, you have a propane detector. That detects the smell of propane. Propane smells like rotten eggs. If that goes off, you either have maybe a propane leak, or maybe you sprayed some Lysol or something really strong and it's picking up the scent, or maybe the house batteries are dying, because that's what will happen. When they start to die, that thing will start to alarm to let you know that the batteries are slowly dying and you need to do something about it. Down here, you've got a doggy tray there for your dog food there. And over here is your monitor panel. Over here we talk about that's your water pump that turns on the water pump there. This other switch is for the hot water heater. It's a 6-gallon hot water heater, and when you turn it on, it's about a 20-minute delay before you have hot water. Over here you have the controls for the slide outs. Slide out 1, slide out 2, and then over here you have the button that starts and stops the generator. And we talked about that a little bit. In order to start it, you hit the stop and you hold it, and then the blue light comes on, and you just prime the generator, the carburetor, and you push start and you hold it, and your generator starts up. And there's usually about a 10 to 15 minute delay, sometimes less. But when you look at your microwave, if you see it's lit up, then you know you have electricity, and that's pretty good indicator. It tells you got power inside. And then over here you have the button that shows you how much propane you have. The battery condition is full, it goes from empty to full. Your fresh water is full, your black is empty, and your gray is empty, and your auxiliary tanks are all empty. So as you start to fill these things up, when you push this button wondering what's in your black tank, it'll show you where you are. So then you know when it's time to dump your tanks, okay? And then you have a cabinet over here for storage. Back here in the master bedroom, now that thermostat I showed you up front was for the front air conditioner. You have another thermostat on the wall back here for the back air conditioner. So once again, you just push it and you turn it on, and if you wanted air conditioning, you push cool, and it goes down to that. And then if you want to shut it off, you push it over here and it goes to the off mode, and then that turns it off. Now The furnace can only be turned on with the front thermostat, not the back. Okay? Then you have a switch over here for your lights. And then you have this door here for privacy here, and it latches right there, and you slide it across, and you can block this off for privacy. These are your air conditioning vents, and then this is your return air, and you can open and close that vent there, and then you have your light switch over here. And then you have an emergency exit. You lift these latches open, and this window swings out, and that's how you would exit the RV if you need to get out of here in a hurry. And these shades, you pull them down, kind of put your hand in the middle, and that's considered for daytime. And then you put it over here, and you bring this down, and that's for privacy at night there. That's how those work. So if you put your hand in the middle, and they work a lot easier when you need to open them back up. Over here, you have another TV here, and you have storage and drawers and so forth. And this thing will open up here, and you have a DVD player behind the TV. So if you wanted to be able to watch movies on that, you have that right back there. Okay? And like I said, you have storage there. Okay. So this whole area here is part of the slide out. So make sure you don't put any luggage or anything down here on the floor between the bed and this TV, because it's going to get stuck in between there. All right. Also, over here, you have the vents over here for your furnace, and that's what those are. And that's, of course, where your heat comes out at. Okay, we'll move back up here to the bathroom here. Inside your bathroom here, you have your shower, and of course you have your sink, and under there you have 4 rows of toilet tissue and 2 bottles of chemicals. And this particular toilet has a foot pedal, and you basically would step on the pedal just a little bit, and that puts water in the bowl, and you step all the way, that flushes it. And then you have your switch over here for your light, so forth. And then you have a outlet here if you want to, run your shaver or whatever. And then, of course, you have your shower. You just pull your shower door across, and it's just like at home. Left is hot, right's cold. Okay? And then you have a little skylight there, and then you have your roof vent here. Okay? Over here, you have an outlet here, and then this turns on, it activates the antenna for the TV here. And you have a TV here as well, and you have an outlet right here. So like if you want to plug up, a DVD or something, you can sit it right over here and plug into it. This does not have a spot designated over this area for the DVD player to sit. And then you got storage over here. And of course, once again, this TV only works when you have electricity. Okay? On your stove, you decide which eye you want to use. And you use the sparkerator here. Make that word up, sparkerator. You sparkerate it, and then the stove will start up, will light itself from there. Basically, that's how the stove works. On the oven, in the very back, you have these 2 stems that come out. So what you do is you turn the oven to light, and you hold it in, and you hold your match or your butane lighter back there at the stem until the stem stays lit. When it stays lit and you can pull your match away, you keep that in for about a minute, and then you let it go, and then it should light, and then it goes all the way across and lights the oven. So it doesn't light instantaneous. You have to hold it for about a minute or so and let it warm up, and then it'll light itself after that. Okay? Your microwave is pretty self-explanatory here. Of course, you see it's got the power to it, and then you have your exhaust fan for cooking, and then you have your storage and your sinks and so forth. Okay? Over here, this sofa will convert into a sleeper. Basically, you grab the bottom of it and pull it, and it lays flat like a futon bed. Okay? And then you have storage around here, and then you have another emergency exit over there. Do the red handle, and then that window will flip out, and then you can exit the RV that way. Okay. Over here, you have your TV antenna. If you are going to crank this thing up, it's going to look like a big timeout. It's set up almost 4 feet high. And when you do crank this up, kind of instead of doing it like this, crank it up like this. And that way you make sure you don't break this handle, because they're just plastic and they break real easily. So you crank this all the way up, and once it starts cranking, the antenna is fully extended. While I'm cranking this up, this booth dinette will also convert into a sleeper as well. Basically what you do is you remove all the cushions out of the way, you lift up on it, and this leg will fold up under the table, and then it will drop down from under here, and this table will fit right in here and sit on this little framing that they have here. So once this is down in place, then you lay all your cushions flat, and that makes another little sleeper. If you're an adult, you don't want to sit in the middle here while you're putting your shoes on, because this can't support the weight of an adult. When you're laying, your body's laid out differently. Basically, you don't want to sit there. You want to sit on this side if you want to put your shoes on, just to keep from breaking that table here. So your antenna is fully extended now, and if you're watching the TV and the picture is poor, you can pull down and rotate this antenna around a little bit, and that might improve the picture. But to put this away, you have to make sure these 2 points are lined up, one right under the other, because there's a little cradle on the roof that the antenna sits in, and if these aren't lined up, it's not going to sit in that cradle when you bring it down. So you line those up, and then you slowly crank this back down and lower the antenna. And once it stops cranking, it's back down on the roof. You also have another bed up here that comes down from the ceiling. So what you have to do before you bring this down, you have these pins that are pushed in to keep this bed from coming down prematurely. So you pull your pins out, and you come over here to this button, and then you slowly hit the button to where you want to bring the bed down. And as you can see, the bed starts coming down. And once it comes all the way down in place, then it'll make into your bed there. Okay? And the ladder that we talked about outside, that's what that ladder is for. You come over here, and once this bed is down all the way, that ladder hooks in here, and you're able to climb up and get into the sleeper up there. Okay? So that's how that bed works. And then we'll bring it back up. All right. So up here at the driver's position, we have a couple things we're going to talk about here. Number one, basically, this is a Ford V10, and you got your rear camera. And like I said, when you have your blinkers on, it'll show you the image on the left, image on the right. And then you have your radio and a CD player, and then you have all your controls here for your air conditioning as well as the heat. You have your controls over here for your power mirrors, and then you have this big LCI electronic leveling system, the leveling jacks. Basically, you have your parking brake on, you have the engine running, and then you would push power on, and then you would hit automatic, and it's going to automatically level the motorhome. If you're on a really bad incline or slant, you want to try to find a better place to park instead of just trying to level this thing, because you don't want the wheels 2 feet off the ground. It's pretty dangerous to do that. So try to find the most level spot you can. If you're on grass or some type of soft surface, you really should put some wood down on the ground first under the jacks so they won't get stuck in the mud. Okay? And basically you just put automatic, and then it'll automatically level itself. To retract the jacks, basically you start the engine up, you make sure the parking brake is on, you bring your rooms in first, and then you hit retract all jacks, and then it'll slowly bring the jacks back up. Over here you have this auxiliary start. Basically what that is if you left your radio on or your headlights and ran your truck battery down, what you can do is you turn the ignition forward to start it, you push this button simultaneously, and it's going to give you a jump. The house batteries will give the truck battery a jump and start it up. And then over here is you can start your generator. So you can start in 3 different places. At the generator, on the wall over there, and up here you can start or stop the generator. Okay? And you got tilt wheel, and all your cruise controls are in the steering wheel just like most Fords. And you have a little drink holder here. And then you have these privacy curtains right here. Once you get to where you're going, you can close those curtains, and then they'll hook in the middle, and then you have privacy for people being able to see from outside inside. Okay? And you got storage over here as well. Of course, you got your seat belts and so forth. But just remember, before you take off, put these pins back into the bed area there. And your breaker box is right down here under the refrigerator. You basically pop that open, and then there are all your breakers and there are all your fuses inside of there. And that pretty much covers everything inside of here. So once again, before you bring the rooms in or out, make sure your leveling jacks are down. Okay? Thank you very much.